everyone, happy Saturday! This is Megan Davies with Tigress Mindset Nutrition Coaching. I just got done with a killer workout and I wanted to pop on here to talk to you guys a little bit about mindset and fitness and how they connect and how your mindset can affect your fitness and how your fitness can affect your mind. It's really fascinating how one affects the other, and I think in our culture we think a lot about compartmentalizing things, and it's really not that way. The way life works is it's a very circular pattern. It's not linear. So yesterday I did some rope climbing with two ladies and it was so much fun, and then today I did some powerlifting, which first time doing that. I am starting to get used to it. I think I've mentioned a few times in my other lives that I've been doing CrossFit for 5 weeks now. Pretty new to it, and I feel like I can now say that I am a CrossFitter. Yeah, it's really changed my outlook at how I view myself, and it's created more awareness of my own glass ceiling that I have created. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. So as you go through life, you are filling your subconscious with ideas, thoughts, words, beliefs, and you're programming your subconscious from the things that you're saying in your conscious mind. So, for example, my dad has a bad back. He's had back surgery. He's just been sort of aware of his low back for most of his life, and he constantly says, I have a bad back. I too have thrown my back out twice in my life. Once when I was 15, and last time I threw it out I was 25. So, you know, I've done what I can to push past that, and it's not true. And you know, I use this example because I think our family can project onto us certain programming, and then we accept it as true. So really, you are responsible for creating your own framework of what's possible in your own life. So back to fitness. Yesterday when I was rope climbing, I've done some bouldering at Seattle Bouldering Project, maybe once a month. I'm really not a rock climber. However, yesterday sort of changed my mind. You know, the bouldering, you're climbing without a rope, so it's really quite strategic, and you have to find different ways to use your body, and it's really not about like muscling your way up the wall and like doing lots of chin-ups. You're like, your legs are supporting you just as much as your arms are and your hands, and it's really like a moving puzzle. You have to use a lot of strategy and technique instead of muscle. So the walls at SBP are probably just like a story tall, which sounds pretty high, but the floor is made of like, you're walking on it and you're doing this. So it's pretty safe to like let go and fall back, you know, if you're able to practice, if you're able to fall well, really. So you don't want to like ever fall with your hands out, you'll break your wrist. So anyway, that is what, so I want to use that as a metaphor of like, that's the programming of like, I'm capable of this, and I could climb 10 feet tall, and right when I got to the very top, you know, there was moments where I was like holding on and I was like, wow, like I'm pretty high up. This is like, whew, feel a little bit of fear in me, and so that's as high as I have climbed. And so yesterday with rope climbing, you have gear. You're wearing a harness. You're like looped in. You get to like practice some cool knot skills, which is cool, and you get to climb up the wall. So you like still like holds on the wall, but you have this support. So it's not, you know, I was using friends on the ground, and then there's an auto belay. So it like sort of, it's a little scary though, because as soon as you push off the wall, it takes a minute for it, like you don't feel the resistance immediately. So you push off the wall and there's like half a second where it sort of catches, and your stomach just comes right up here. Anyway, I wanted to sort of share that because that's what I was used to, only climbing 10 feet tall. It wasn't until my fourth route, which is like, you know, you follow the one color and it goes all the way up the wall. And so my fourth time going on the wall, that I was able to go all the way up to the top. So each time I was able to go like a little bit higher. I think the third time I went 3/4 of the way up the wall, and each time I felt like I was really like bumping into my own limitations and my own glass ceiling. And I was very aware of like, oh, like this is as far as I've ever gone before. Like I'm feeling scared and I'm really tall. And like it does take a little while to mentally unblock what you're used to. And so, you know, as a mindset coach, I felt like it was such a fun experiment for me to put myself through physically what I put my clients through, which is asking them to consider what are their beliefs and their structures and their subconscious that are making up their own limitations, and confronting those limitations and asking, is that really true? Am I capable of more? So with fitness, I think it's such an amazing way to shift your mindset and shift what you're comfortable doing and play with the comfort zone, and of course always be responsible and safe. And you know, I am not a physical trainer. I'm experimenting with my own fitness journey, but don't ever do something that's painful. Like it should feel like, ooh, this is challenging to my body and I'm feeling my body engage, and playing out of a sense of curiosity. You know, no one is yelling at me to like, you know, there's no sort of like drill sergeant approach to fitness in my life, and I think that's a very unhealthy way to go about it. So please shoot me a comment if you're curious. I have found a really good CrossFit gym. I highly recommend it. I've had plenty of really positive experiences. I think a few days ago I did a live about my first negative experience. However, like I am now in the fitness world, and sometimes that's gonna happen, but you know, like 95% of the times I've worked out, it's been really positive, and it's because I am cultivating an unstoppable mindset. So I just wanted to pop on and share with you guys a little bit about how limiting beliefs in your mindset can affect your fitness. So pop in the comments and let me know what you think, and please share an example from your life. I love hearing what's going on in your life and how any of this content pertains to you and if it inspires you. So today at CrossFit, I was learning how to do Olympic powerlifting, and it sounds like, you know, like Olympic gods who live on Olympus, and they're just like sculpted and they wear togas and they're like super powerful. That's not what it was, but it does sound like kind of intimidating. Olympic powerlifting. So really most of today was actually about mindset. And just to plug into Q CrossFit, they have free workouts on Saturday. So there's a buddy workout at 9 a.m. and at 10 a.m. there's a Olympic powerlifting. So maybe I'll see you guys next week there. It's down in Pioneer Square, and today was really all about technique. It was actually the least sweaty I've been at CrossFit. So learning how to do something well, and because I'm new to CrossFit and I come from a yoga background where form and technique is very important, and from there, once you get the form and technique down, then you can build the strength. It's easier to build the muscle memory of doing something properly with good body alignment than it is to really let your ego take over, right? Like, how strong can I do it? It's like, well, that seems like really irresponsible and like a good way to get hurt. So I really encourage you guys to give it a shot. I did most of the workout pretty low weight. I put 5 kilograms on each side. It's a 16 or 18 kilogram bar. Like, it's not a lot of weight, but I was challenged enough, and I did some of the workout just with the bar because I wanted to just like really get the movement down. So because I did an ab workout the other day and my low back was feeling tight. So this is an example of like being responsible, being aware, but still pushing yourself to those limits. My back is feeling tight, and so instead of staying in silence, I am like, hey, I want to do this correctly. My back's feeling tight. Can you support me like doing this well? And I want to be really good at it. And like I want to practice doing it well before I like learn how to do it with lots of weight. So super supportive. The trainers are great there, and yeah, always advocate for your own growth. If you don't know how to do something, ask. I really think that we're kind of like children. We're all a little bit afraid to be like the loser kid of like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, just be humble and say like, hey, I want to be good at this. Can you show me how to do it? I think that's like really admirable, and like that's how I live my life. And I think that's really a good example of the beginner mindset. So think about what it's like to be a beginner. You're humble, your ego isn't in the way, and you're like completely like open. So you're open to seeing what it looks like, how does it feel, what is the experience. You're just open to let information in. So I think it's especially if you're becoming an expert in something, I think it's a really fun way to sort of tap into like, well, what was I like when I was a beginner? Because everyone starts out as a beginner. Alright guys, well, I hope this was helpful and inspires you to go out and move your body. Happy weekend! I hope you go get some sunshine and just move. Doesn't have to be CrossFit, doesn't have to be rock climbing, like get some dance party, like go play some frisbee in the sun, and yeah. Well, happy weekend, guys. I will see you next time on Talk with Tigress. Take care.